I am as intrigued as you, Lavenza. Shall we hear what news Tataru has brought us? A general summons. Tataru has news for you from Ulda. General Raubon says they may have uncovered the Sultana's whereabouts. And he wants you, by which I mean both of you, to go to the Waking Sands right away and help with the investigation. Come, Lavenza. Pressing though Ishgard's plight may be, our presence here will not serve to hasten the Monocutter's completion. Let us return to the troubled lands of Thanlin and lend what aid we may. Tataru, have our friends at the congregation send a message to Istinian. Tell him we have identified a solution to our problem, but that it will take some time to prepare. As you wish, Master Alphino. To the Waking Sands, warrior of light, 'tis past time Ulda was delivered from this darkness. Pray return. People in my free company chatter talking smack about Star Wars. Very unbecoming. I will not take part in that discussion. It is beneath me. Looking good, Raubon.
Thank you for coming.
No thanks are necessary, General. I trust your recuperation continues apace.
I cannot complain. Thanks to Higiri and her ministrations, I've regained much of the strength I lost during my imprisonment.
I gather you have made progress in the search for Her Grace.
Aye, some good fortune at last. A few days past, Lala informed us that a sizable shipment of alchemical supplies had been delivered to the palace.
With Papa Shan's assistance, I set out to ascertain the source and nature of the shipment. My inquiries led me to Frondale's frontistery. There, I learned that an order had been placed for a curious substance designed to sustain patients trapped in death-like slumber. An invention of the former head alchemist, apparently.
A death-like slumber? This cannot be a coincidence.
It lends some weight to Lala's claims, aye. Her Grace is likely somewhere within the palace, abed but alive.
Before making any attempt to extricate the Sultana, however, it seemed prudent to learn what manner of substance was used to induce her torpor. To that end, I made inquiries as to the whereabouts of the one most like to have administered it. The lady in waiting, Meriel. We sent for you as soon as we learned of her location. All that remains is to apprehend the woman.
We shall find our cat's paw in the Silver Bazaar. But we must tread carefully. The market is not the bustling place it once was, and someone is sure to mark our coming. Should they inform the monetarists, we'll have a fight on our hands. We must be prepared for the worst, and being short an arm, I thought it wise to take another in its stead. What say you, warrior of light? Will you lend me yours?
Oh, she doesn't
Then
do
I
that.
pity the bastard that stands in our way. Come, my friend. For Nanamo, and for Ulda!
A lot of head nodding. Yeah, I'm thinking now. Isn't one of the alchemist storylines having to do with that that elixir or whatever? Sounds familiar, or something similar to it. And then I just thought, I've been waiting a long time for like Sid, to make a new arm for Raubon. It surprises me that he hasn't done that yet. Although I don't know that there's really any other examples of technology like that in the game. If one had chosen to entrap the Sultana in a death-like sleep rather than slay her, then one would surely also know of a means to rouse her from said sleep. There must be an antidote to this poison. Well, presumably, if they have to keep administering it, then wouldn't stopping administering it wake her back up? I would assume it's not so much a poison as it is like an anesthetic. Our target is Muriel, the Sultana's former lady-in-waiting, a woman of Midlander heritage. I am told the two of you have met. Our sources indicate that she left the palace shortly after the incident and quietly rejoined the dwindling population of the Silver Bazaar. I suggest we begin by questioning the market's residents and confirm that Muriel is still in hiding there. And then I can never remember which is the silver and which is the gold. Oh, okay, so that's still... So the silver is the one that's still here. I'll just make it a bit quicker by going back to Horizon. Yeah, I think this is probably where, because I do have a vague memory of, I think, actually talking to Lolorito about all of this. And my guess is that's probably how this quest is going to end. It's probably, saving Nanamo, and then, in the process you end up talking to Lolorito. Kikipu. Greetings, Lavenza. What can I do for the Silver Bazaar's favorite adventurer? Have I even been out here? Looking for Muriel, you say? If you're hoping to lure her back to Ulda, you may as well give up now. The girl's done with city life. Do I know of any returning residents? Gods, don't tell me they're starting to come back. My masters will not be pleased to hear of this. Danielle. Muriel? Aye, she's here. Left the city for good, she says. Barely leaves her house, though. It's the one closest to the market entrance. I mean, how many houses are there? Two. Three. Well, 3 buildings, whether or not they're houses. closest to the market entrance, so I take it it's this one. Yep. Gotcha.
You are Meriel, the Sultana's former lady-in-waiting?
I know no one of that name. Pray excuse me.
Raubon ain't having it.
General Alden!
We will have the truth from you, girl.
She's like, There he is.
Mayhap it would be better coming from me.
Lolarito, you'd best talk fast.
As you know, Teleji Adeleji's Cartano reclamation bill was no more than a facade. A means to get his grubby little hands on that Allagan monstrosity Omega. When he learned of Nanamo's intention to abdicate, however, he was forced to amend his plans. Suddenly, assassination seemed the most promising way to further his ambitions. I am told Teleji had discovered a maid in whose veins ran the blood of House Thorn. A new, more pliable puppet to sit the throne. 'Twould have caused an uproar, of course, but few could have contested her claim. 'Twas plain that Teleji's wild machinations had outgrown our ability to control them. So I decided to usurp his scheme and left the fool to seal his own demise.
And what of Nanamo?
Oh, I have no desire to harm her grace. 'Twould profit me little to destabilize our government. Thus did I employ young Meriel here to administer a potent sleeping potion in place of a poison. You should know, General, that your dear friend Ilberd was fully aware of my plan. I had him lie about the assassination as a means to prime your rage against Teleji. We weren't entirely sure how you would react, but things went rather better than expected.
Feisty little Lala. And there he is with that smile.
You conniving little worm! You had your claws in the Crystal Braves before their first recruit had sworn to serve!
But of course, when a new game begins, 'tis only prudent to have a piece on the board. Ilberd was mine. Truth be told, a significant proportion of the Braves' initial endowment was also mine. With such large sums moving about, 'twas a rather trifling matter to disguise my own contribution. Ah, Ilberd. I secured his services with a promise to support his cause once my authority had been solidified. I swear, the man thinks of naught but prizing Alamigo from the grasp of the Empire. Unlike you, General, the poor fellow seems quite unable to forsake the land of his forefathers. Mayhap that's why he called you a traitor to your people and a disgrace to your homeland, amongst other things. What was it he always compared you to? Oh, yes, an overgrown lapdog begging for scraps at the Sultana's table. Oh, how we laughed.
Wow, what a dick.
Alas, Ilbird's entertaining little outbursts eventually gave way to wearisome tirades, and the zealous brute became rather unruly. I had no wish to see you executed, you understand, but he would not take no for an answer. Rest assured, his employment with me has long since ended. Which brings us neatly to the present. What say you, General? Both you and the Sultana are alive. We have one corpse and one fugitive. And preparations have been made to restore your good name. Shall we cry quits and start again with a blank ledger?
The hells we will! Do you honestly expect me to forgive and forget? After all you've done? You're guilty of high treason!
Stay your blade, Master Alden. You yourself are not innocent. Or have you forgotten your own crime in executing Teleji Adeleji without trial? Though you acted out of loyalty to the Sultana, such deeds are in violation of both the word and spirit of the law. If you would, Lord Lolorito?
This potion will wake the Sultana from her slumber. Consider it a gesture of conciliation. You will find her grace resting comfortably within her private chambers. Should you doubt my word, I shall willingly accompany you to the palace as your hostage.
I like not your motives, Lolorito. But you saved the Sultana's life, and for that, you have my gratitude.
Rauban Aldin, you are hereby reinstated as General of the Immortal Flames. The citizens of Ul'dah shall once more be united under Nanamo Ul'Namo, and together we shall usher in a new age of prosperity.
She must have to change her drawers after that, man. He says the presence... Oh, okay. I was like... I don't... Like, whose part of the plan was it? Because if Ilberd was working for Lolorito, then was it part of Lolorito's plan to blame everything on the Scions? which of course was a total dick move. But I guess he thought that it was a better way of like riling up, I guess, Raubon to actually just kill Teleji. I mean, was that his plan the whole time? Then to, because I guess there was no way of actually pinning the poisoning on Teleji. I don't know. He's still a shisty little Lala, that's for sure. You had killed the one you served. Pray excuse my mutterings. I was reminded of a line from an old poem. By the 12, I feared Lord Lolorito's arrival would herald another bloodbath. Little did I suspect that he of all people would gift us the means to rouse the Sultana. Thank you all for watching this video. It's been a lot of fun playing through Heavensward again. And yeah, it's such a great story. And we just finished up part 1 on tonight's stream and started part 2. So we're moving through it quickly. And I'm excited to play more of it and to get on to the other expansions. So if you've enjoyed this, please, again, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And please come and join me live on Twitch. The link is down below. Thank you again for watching. Have a great one.